everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome if you are new and welcome if you are returning. This is Rural Life and Sustainable Living, and I am Jabulile, aka Malushaba. Guys, first of all, before we even go into today's video, I just want to thank each and every one of you. We have reached this wonderful and beautiful milestone. The channel has now gone over the 1,000 mark in terms of subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you who has subscribed to the channel, who has liked a video, shared a video, commented on a video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and please do continue to support the channel. It means so much to me, and please continue to just interact with me on the channel. Let us get to know each other more. Let us teach each other. Let us learn together. Let us continue working this journey together. I thank you so much. And just now going into today's video, guys, and please guys please, yeah, don't mind the noise. Like, I don't know what to do with the children. They are like, yeah, it's been raining so much, and it's suddenly stopped, and they've all come out from wherever they were hiding, and you know, and it's load shedding as well, so they're not gonna stay at home and watch cartoons and all of that. The schools are like almost closed as well, so they're not going to school. So they're just playing. So please bear with me. Please bear with them. They're just enjoying the mud, enjoying the little opening of no rain today. So please bear with us. Yeah, just going into today's video, guys. I said last week, you know, I went through the most in last week and the week before. I couldn't even post a video that other week because, like I just mentioned, it's load shedding right now. And for those of you who don't know what load shedding is, in South Africa, we've been actually going through this stage where, you know, now and then during certain hours of the day, we don't have electricity. It started a few years ago, and it wasn't as bad as it is now. Like, now it's horrible. It's horrific. It's terrible. It's all the bad words you can think about. It is that. And, you know, the thing that made me want to talk about this today is, it's not necessarily that I want to talk about load shedding, but I wanna talk about just some of the things that I will let me call it the pros and cons, or I don't want to say I want to talk about the cons of living in a rural area without talking about the positive things, you know, about living in a rural area. And like Amina just mentioned, my children get to play. My son is with his friends. They're playing. It's nice. I'm never worried really like that, as much as I would have been probably in another area when my child is not at home, maybe playing at someone else's home, or when he's like out of the yard and playing with his friends, or in the yard playing with his friends. It's a let me say, it's a relatively safe environment as compared to other parts of like the country. We know that crime is a serious thing, and I know that people in other countries also experience crime, but I just feel like personally in rural areas our children are much safer. The community is so much different. People are very much involved. People always, you know, people are always very caring, always willing to know you as their neighbor, always willing to lend a helping hand. And there are so many things that I can say. And if you watch my other videos, I've said so many things just about the good things and the positivities, or the positive things, the pros about living in a rural area. But today I just wanna just, you know, just to make you aware that when you go to a rural area, when you move there, these are some of the things that you're gonna be facing or challenged with. And in as much as everybody in the country is facing load shedding, but guys, I feel like rural areas are the worst hit, guys, because I feel like it just goes beyond like what you can really comprehend. The previous week we didn't have electricity for like a few days, and also what mostly happens there, let me not say like it was like the normal load shedding for like a couple of days, and it was like many hours in the day, 8 hours, 12 hours, like just different times. And with that, it affected the signal, the network, like it was so difficult to even connect to the internet, things like that. And I thought, this is bad. I mean, we're used to that. It happens now and then. But for the second time this year, we've gone an entire week without electricity. And worst of it is that day, throughout the day, it was a Friday, it started on a Friday. There was no electricity for a couple of hours. Like it was 2 hours, and then later on it was 4 hours, but also the network was horrible. It was horrible. And I mean, we thought, okay, you know what, it's fine, it's been bad, but we're used to this. 7 p.m. electricity. And also the thing is that it's like, for some reason, whenever there's lightning, and in this season that happens a lot, whenever there's lightning, lights go off. Why are the lights going off? Because like I've never experienced that anyway, where like every time there's lightning, the lights must go off. Why are the lights going off? Like why? And in rural areas, why every time? No. And well, let me say, in this rural area, I'll speak for this one. Maybe it doesn't happen in your rural area if you live in South Africa. And so, like, the lights go off, and we're thinking, no, man, it's fine. It's not the first time. Tomorrow we'll have electricity, or maybe in a couple of hours, somewhere during the night, it'll come back. It doesn't. We do some shopping on the Saturday. We come back, nothing. Sunday, nothing. Now, the thing that pained me so much, and why I'm sharing it, is that a lot of people who live in rural areas, they are not well off. Unfortunately, they are not well off. They make do with very little. People went and bought groceries this month end. People went and bought groceries, and it's December, they're buying a little bit extra, and people buy once to last them the entire month. There was no electricity for a week plus for other areas, because for some people it was like 4 days, and then it came back. It didn't come back in other areas. For others it was a whole 7 days. For others it was a whole 2 weeks. And for me, just looking at that, the area, like if you like behind me, that area down there, because the we're on different lines, they didn't have electricity. Funny enough, actually, their electricity had come back on that Friday, and I was so happy for them, because they didn't have electricity for like 3 to 4 weeks. And how that happened? Lightning. There was a storm. There was lightning. All our lights up to that area. See that area, as far as you can see the mountains, that side, it was pitch black. There was no electricity. And fine, after a couple of hours, our electricity returned, and theirs didn't, for 3 or 4 weeks. That day it came back, and we're like, yay, finally. And then it was gone as quick as it came back. For them, it wasn't quick. It didn't come back quick. Let's rephrase that one. It was it came back, and then it was gone, that same day. And a lot of people had to throw away food that they just bought. I pickled because we buy, we're vegan, we buy a lot of veggies, and what I do is I'll buy a lot of veggies and freeze some things just so that I don't continuously have to go to the market or to the shops to buy this and that. I'll take some tomatoes and put away in the fridge or in my vegetable racks, and then I'll put some in the freezer, and then other vegetables as well. I will do that. So for me, it just makes life so much easier for me. We're not near shops, so I'm not gonna take the car and just travel a distance just to go buy a tomato or like to buy spinach. I chop them and then I put them in the freezer, and it makes things easier for me when I cook because things are already chopped. Like things like your spinaches and the likes, they're already chopped, they're already washed, chopped, they're already washed, and then I just cook them. It makes life very easier for me, or easy for me. So for me, that thing, it was just so painful to hear your neighbors telling you how now they have to try and eat all this meat, or they've thrown away some of their meat because like it's going off. And the month is so long. It's so long, you know. And the thing is that no, not everyone can afford to go off grid. It's expensive, to get solar panels and the batteries to like for backup and stuff. So it's just, yeah, guys, I was just so heartbroken, to have to experience that. And this is the second time this year, but this one, it lasted longer. And like literally for other people, the electricity only just came back like 2 days ago. So that's 2 weeks, that they didn't have electricity. And yeah, and for me, my complaint here is that these kind of stuff mostly happen in rural areas. And come election time, guys, they will be coming here campaigning like crazy, promising people this and that and that and that and that. So they only remember people, that they're actually people that we need to think about in rural areas only when it's election time. But for me, my pain is that a lot of the times when you live in a rural area, you need to know that you have to be self-reliant. Like don't even think government, think think yourself, because it can get really horrible, it can get really bad. And in all honesty, this is one of the better areas, the better rural areas. Some people don't even have tap water. Like it's so bad. And it's not easy to just say no, I will just get a borehole. It's expensive, and people don't have those kind of amounts of money, or I'll just get a solar panel or 2 or 3 or 12. It's not that easy. People can barely put food on their tables, so those are some of the things. So for me, I say this because for someone it might be easy to move to a rural area and be off-grid because they can afford it. But the majority of people who live in rural areas, they can't. And I guess I'm just venting right now. I'm really just venting right now, guys. So yeah, I don't know how to solve some of these things really. I know how to solve them for myself. I just don't know how to help the larger community, and that's what, I would appreciate you guys, telling me if maybe you know of any ideas, or maybe even certain areas where things like this were resolved. But for me, I'm not thinking just about me. What about the larger community? What do they do? What do they do? What are the most affordable, simplest ways that really people in rural areas can be able to sustain themselves, or be self-reliant in terms of power or energy, in terms of water? So yeah, guys, solutions. What solutions can we come up with to make living in a rural area generally pleasant for everybody, you know. The environment is great, the environment is good, the community is wonderful, the community aspect, but there are just those challenges, and it's huge challenges, really. The day-to-day challenges. Children go to school, they need electricity to study in the evening or when they get home. They need, can you believe, my daughter and one of the neighbor's daughter, they were using those irons, steel irons, let me put it like that. Those old steel irons that you use, you my mom actually had them. I need to find out if she still has any of those, because I know a long time ago, long time ago, we used to have them at home. Those old ones that you have to put on coal and then they get hot and then you can iron your clothes. I know you know them, those ones. That's how they were ironing their clothes to go to school, you know. And for me, I'm like really, guys, we are like, yo, I share. Yo, we are like going 100 years back, 100 years back. And for me, I wanna ask you, how do we solve these kind of problems? And you know what the other problem is? It's litter, guys. It's litter. I'm sorry to, I feel like I'm going on and on. This video is getting longer than I hoped or wanted. But these things need to be said, because I feel like I need solutions. We need solutions. People need solutions. And yeah, I'd like your help in coming up with those solutions, the ideas, because there are no like refuse services in rural areas. So people just figure it out on their own. Like what we do, there are certain things that you cannot burn. Usually people have like a little area in their yard where they burn things just to get rid of refuse. But there are things like cans, which you can have recycled and get money for, if you wanna go that route, like of taking them to a scrapyard. But there are also bottles, and it's not always easy to get to those places where you can have these things recycled. And then children's disposable nappies as well. So for me, things that I cannot uh, dispose of here at home, I take them, and I've said this in a previous video, I take them to like whichever town or garage where they have like a bin. I will put them there, in the bin, and then that is what I do. And for someone who doesn't have a car, you are not going to be carrying around dirt and rubbish, disposable nappies in a taxi, so that you can go put them in a bin somewhere. And people don't often go to town like that, because transport, you need money to get into a taxi, you pay for a taxi. So people will dispose of things anyway. And the thing also is that I've seen people, even people with cars, I've seen people literally over there. Guys, I like, it's depressing actually to see that this environment is so beautiful, so beautiful. But I don't know why people litter, guys. I'm having the, like, yeah, the children are distracting me quite a lot. So forgive me if you see me getting distracted here and there, having to pause here and there. But they will open their boot, with the boot of the car, the trunk, take dirt out and throw it out. Like, I don't understand that mentality, because these people are people with cars. They can throw this dirt of theirs somewhere where there's like a place to actually dispose of these things, not in such a beautiful environment. But I'm saying people do it even in their homes, like just everywhere, next to rivers and things like that, because the services are just not there. So help me, guys. please help me figure this out. How do we deal with that mentality, one, of, litter bags? And also, just how do we also, like, what alternatives can there be in rural areas where there is no service for, like, dealing with refuse? How do you help people deal with their day-to-day refuse at home? How do we do that? Yeah, guys, I'd appreciate. And I'm sorry if this has been such a depressing type of video, but some things need to be said so that we can come up with solutions. So I hope you guys can help me. I hope you guys can help the general public, our rural community, so that we can continue to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful environment, and not just us, but generations to come. They can find and still get to enjoy and experience the nature, the beautiful nature. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you can share with me any ideas that you have. And till next time, guys, I love you. Thank you.